Happy Sunday, everyone. This is the Marjorie Bash Health Show, and we're just going to start in a few minutes. Just trying to do some housekeeping, and the party is about to start. Okay. This is very good that we are all here. Well, this is the Marjorie Bash Health Show, and I am happy to welcome everyone on board. My name is Dr. Kelechi Eguzo, and with me tonight we have a very wonderful audience. The first person I'd like us to meet is pharmacist Diana Bassi. Pharmacist Diana Bassi, can you tell us what you do and who you are?
My name is pharmacist Diana Basi. I'm a pharmacist with the Majori Bash College of Health, and I'm here to create awareness on HIV and AIDS as part of activities to mark the World AIDS Day, which was marked across the world on the 1st of December.
Well, so nice to meet you, pharmacist. And who is the lady in black? The dark lady.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for. My name is. I'm a medical doctor and also um, a lecturer. That's a first aid instructor at the Majority College of Health Sciences and Technology. But I think I'm your anchor for the. So thanks for joining us. Please feel free to leave your questions and comments in the box, and we'll be sure to. Thank you.
Alrighty, welcome everyone.
Can
And
you guys hear me?
Dr. Brown, over to you. Yes, over to you. We are live and we can hear you live and clear. You take it away from here. What are we doing today?
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome once again. Like I said, for those just joining, this is the Majoriba channel, and we're here to um, discuss HIV and AIDS. To mark,
Okay, viewers, we are having some technical challenges with internet connectivity, but we're just going to go right into the topic of today's show. So, Dr. Brown was just telling us exactly why we are here today and what we'll be discussing regarding HIV and AIDS. And pharmacist Jenna Bassi, as I understand, you have been very involved in HIV management locally. Tell us what's happening with HIV right now.
Okay, the management of HIV is an evolving practice compared to other fields of medicine. So many new data is coming out on a daily basis, and the data is helping with informed decisions. At the moment, we are looking at zero new infections in Nigeria by 2030. So the goal right now is to get communities involved, get community leaders involved, church pastors, imams, village heads, and all that. We've moved from the level of the hospitals now to communities. More people should talk about HIV. More people should get involved in the control of HIV in order to be able to stem the tide of spread. No, we're looking at reducing stigmatization, because when stigmatization is reduced, more people would get involved in care. More people would talk about if they have been exposed and how they can go about management. We're moving from the place of where people were stigmatized or people were afraid to speak up about their status. We've had cases where people get raped, and because of fear of what people will think, they don't know that they have access to post exposure care that can actually curtail or avoid the risk of getting infected. So more
Okay,
people
hold
are
on a
talking
second.
about it.
Yeah, let me interrupt you for a little bit there. You just talked on something that I thought was very profound. You said the target now is to go to of zero spread.
Yes.
Can you explain what does that really mean? Like, I don't understand.
Okay, what that means is by 2030, Nigeria is expected not to record new infection. This means that people who are currently infected would have had their viral load suppressed at the level of what we term undetected, which makes it difficult or impossible for them to infect new people. And also, for mother to child transmission, maternal care is being targeted to ensure that newborns, the baby born to HIV positive parents, will be able to survive without getting infected. So that's the stage where we are now. More people being aware to be able to stem the tide of new infection. The people who are already infected achieve viral suppression, and that's going to be the way, the means of attaining zero new infection.
Okay, well, that's very good to know. Thanks for expatiating that because it is very when I say interesting that 30 years after HIV became more known in Nigeria, we are no longer talking about the rising prevalence, but rather to make sure that there's no further transmission within the society. So, why do you think we've made so much progress in Nigeria, if we've made progress at all? Or I guess what I'm asking is, where are we now in Nigeria regarding HIV control versus where we were 10, 15 years ago? Yes, I was
Hello,
asking.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I can hear you. I was asking about the progress we've made as a people in Nigeria regarding
I've
HIV
lost my
management.
audio.
Okay, so yeah, if you can hear me, I'm saying that we are. I was asking about the progress we've made in Nigeria. How far have we come in the last 10 to 20 years regarding HIV management? And if you know the answer to this question, just do drop us a message in the chat. We are talking about HIV and how far we've come as people in Nigeria. So, Pharmacist Andre Janabasi is back to let us know about the data that is happening about what's happening in Nigeria. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I didn't get you. I lost my connection.
Oh, no worries. I understand. It's one of those things that we all battle with every day. So I was asking, what progress have we made as a country regarding HIV management in the last decade or 2 decades?
Okay, current data Can you hear me?
Absolutely, yes, I can hear you. You're live.
Yes. Well, our current data, the prevalence stands at 2.1% between among adults between 15 to 49 years of age.
So okay, so what does that mean in real numbers? As in, is it like so what I'm hearing you say is that if we bring 100 people in Nigeria who are aged between 2 years and just under 50 years, we will find about two of them who have
Yes,
HIV right now.
yes,
And that's interesting because 10 years ago our prevalence was not that low. What was it? Did you know?
yes. It was about 3.2.
Okay, so in 10 years, we've gone from having three people out of 100 that have HIV to having just about two that have HIV. That's a
Yes,
very big drop in a decade.
yes.
I think we deserve an applause as a nation. But why do you think this is? Why the change in why the drop in prevalence, if I may put it
You,
that way?
before now, the issue of HIV management was still new in Nigeria, and more research were being done, and more work has been evolving. So more people are getting involved. Funding has increased, and more people get to know about HIV. And as such, the UN AIDS target of 95, that's 95 virally suppressed, 95 in care, and 95% less chance of a new infection has really helped. So the different projects, the president's emergency plan for AIDS relief has
Mhm.
really provide funding, technical and logistic support for the implementation of the Nigeria AIDS indicator and impact survey. So all these have been put on ground, and more people are getting more aware. This has really helped in reduction of our prevalence.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. And so, I guess the focus of World AIDS Day events is not just for us to celebrate our progress, but to discuss the plans for the future to continue to stem the tide of HIV and AIDS. So I'd like to point out read our listeners to the fact that we have the HIV quiz that is happening, that is on our Facebook page. If you take that quiz, you are likely to win a prize. And the theme for this year's event, of this year's events, is Let Communities Lead. And I would like to welcome back Dr. Becky Brown, who is struggling to join us, and hopefully she can join us when our network improves. So, let the communities lead, pharmacist Diana Basi. What are we talking about here?
Okay, like I mentioned at the beginning, which is what the United Earth uh, theme for this year.
Mhm.
Simply, we're looking at how the world can end AIDS with communities leading the way. So we are considering organization of communities living with and at risk of or affected by HIV to be at the front line of progress in the HIV response. We've moved from the time where health workers would come from outside the community to try to get people to to test, to try to get people that are positive to be enrolled in care. We have moved from that now. We are now getting involved in the community where we are having the high prevalence. So what this involves is we create communities that will connect people with person-centered public health services. We build trust, we innovate and monitor implementation of policies and services, and hold providers accountable. So
Mhm.
we are looking at solving the issues, the problems that communities are facing, which would most times hinder the HIV care. But considering stemming the tides of funding shortages, then the issues of policies and regulatory hurdles that community leaders need to face, capacity constraint, more people will need to be trained, and on civil society and human rights of marginalized communities. So those are the things that have in the past obstructed the progress of HIV prevention and treatment services. So if these obstacles are removed, community-led organization can add even greater impetus to the global HIV response, advancing progress towards the end of AIDS.
Wow, that's very well said. Again, this is the Marjorie Bash Health Show. This is the 2023 World AIDS Day edition. And my name is Dr. Kelechi Eguzo, your host for today. And the guests that we have are pharmacist Diana Bassi and Dr. Becky Brown. And we're discussing HIV. And we just kind of talked about the progress we've made as a country and where the goal is going forward by letting communities lead. And before we end today's show, I just want to ask, I just want to ask, how can we as a people, this is now for our audience, how do you get your communities to take charge of HIV/AIDS control? Because previously it had been, you go bring money, we go take and do HIV project. When the money go, projects go. But now we're saying let the communities lead. What do you need as a community to lead HIV response in your own setting? And the community here, Dana Basi, the community, are we
Yes.
just looking at the villages, or what other communities are we looking at when we talk about
No,
let the
by community,
communities lead?
we are looking at everyone. We are all interconnected in one way or the other. At least we all know one or two people who would be directly or indirectly affected by the burden of HIV. Now, there's a slogan currently that not ending AIDS is more expensive than ending it. Let's imagine what all the money that is being used for funding HIV services would have been used for if by 2030 we do not have new infections. Let's imagine what that money would be able to solve, what are issues the money would have solved. So it is about taking ownership. We should say nothing about us without us. So we should be involved in the formulation, budgeting, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation at our community level, individually in families. So we're not just looking at when we say community, we're talking about a village or a city. We're talking about individuals all coming together to say enough is enough with HIV infection.
Okay, Dr. Brown, are you able to hear us? We are just coming towards the end of the show, and from our sister Diana has really mentioned a few points that are very important. The first thing he said is that community leadership needs to be fully involved and reliably involved and funded as well to help them implement HIV care in their places. And then he also mentioned that it is more expensive to not stop HIV than it is to stop it, because the money that we are putting into HIV now could be used to do other things. And just imagine a world where we would be able to, instead of doing free testing for everyone, we can use that money to provide free lunch for kids who are going through school. Wouldn't that be awesome? And
That
before
would
we,
be
yeah, I think so too. Before we end it, I'd like to remind us that Marjorie Bash College of Health is admitting new students, and we offer different programs: community health, pharmacy technician, medical lab technician, health information management, as well as biomedical engineering. And our college clinic provides free HIV screening, and we are also connected to treatment centers in and around Aba. And it would be very good if you could take this opportunity to get tested or refer someone to get tested. And I don't know, any final words from you, from our sister Diana?
uh, by way of I'd like to encourage everyone. HIV affects each and every one of us directly or indirectly. So everyone should be involved in care and management. Everyone should involve in ending stigmatization, which has really been one of the obstacles to ending HIV. Do not stigmatize. Get tested. Know your status. Ask your friends. Ask your family. Do you know your status? Let them get tested and we can all end HIV by year 2030.
Well, thank you very much. I couldn't have said it any better. And before I let you go, I just want to remind you that we have a free quiz that is on our Facebook page, and the link is here in the chat for you to participate, and you can win free airtime by testing your knowledge about HIV. We don't want you to feel that you don't know anything, but I'm gonna challenge you once you take this quiz. Post your score on Facebook and challenge your friends to beat you, because it's all about the fun we share in trying to keep our communities healthier and safe. And that's it on the Majori Bash Health Show for this World AIDS Day episode. And I'll leave you with some music to wrap up your evening. And we'll see you again during the next show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a wonderful night.